We are back on Taking Care of Business on Koerner Radio, News Talk, 1180, 1230 KGEO, 1410 KERI, 1000 KKIM in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and 3 times a week nationwide on the Internet. Our guest in studio, Marcus Johnson, the head of Starstruck.
I thought he was a basketball player.
Well, there was a Was there a Marcus Johnson?
Yeah, I've heard that several times. Yeah,
went to UCLA and played for the Milwaukee Bucks.
And all this time, I thought I was talking to a former basketball player.
Well, I'll tell you what, Marcus looks a little short to be playing forward.
Well, he's taller than I am.
Well, then again, that's 99% of the population.
That's most of true.
Yeah, being taller than you is not a landmark. And this from a guy who's 5'8.5".
Okay, Marcus, tell us about the minimum wage.
Well, you had a question on the racetrack first, or I'm sorry, the Kern County.
No, I want to go to minimum wage.
Okay,
That's what we ended before.
Let's talk with minimum.
Minimum wage obviously July 1st went up. Basically to $9 an hour, which the original minimum wage was $8 an hour. So we've almost had like a 12.5% increase is what we've had, what employers have had. And just like any other business, you got to pass those costs along.
Well, not only the base rate, but you've got the Social Security match.
Absolutely.
You've got taxes. You've got unemployment, workmen's compensation, state disability.
Oh, yes.
I mean, on and on and on. So a $10 an hour wage is probably closer to $14 an hour.
Yeah. Well, and they're proposing to do, $10 an hour will be taking effect the 1st of January of 2016. And then there's even stuff in the hopper that's in legislation right now to try to push it up to $15 an hour by 2018. So you're talking about almost 67% of a difference between what the minimum wage is currently right now. So the bottom line is if the people are going to support it, they're going to also have to support it at the brick and mortar stores, at the gas stations. So now your 99-cent cheeseburger is now $3.25. So, nobody really has a challenge until it starts affecting their back end. And we definitely believe in our organization of appropriately compensating the individuals that provide a quality service for us. So we have no problem with that. But with the same token, we're here to provide a service, and we're also in business, and we want to remain in business and stay in business, and that causes us to have to be competitive because dealing with whether it's various producers or various business clienteles, they run the numbers just like we run the numbers, and it's a fine line between profit and loss, especially in an industry such as services as us.
One thing I think government fails to understand, especially the people that are at the top administration in this country right now, is when you start a business, you're the only one that doesn't get paid. Everybody else gets paid. And you can go months, even years, not making any money, but making sure everybody else is taken care of. And yet our current administration, what they want to do is give the employees everything. And you're already giving the employees everything you can give them.
Right. And, I can attest to that. My partners can attest to that. It has been an investment for not only myself but my partners to sacrifice, whether it be a degree of their livelihood, their personal time, their resources to build this brand, to build this vision. And those are the things that truthfully, when we hand out paychecks, everybody's happy to be paid. We're certainly glad that they are getting paid. I mean, but don't necessarily see the hurdles and the pitfalls that it takes to actually do that. We can write checks all day. The question is there money in the bank?
Right.
So, and that's where the work comes into, and that's what my job is as operations manager, also with the efforts of my partners to ensure that we're here for the long run, not only for the community and for the city, but also for the employees that do have confidence that we do employ.
And then you have your unseen employee. That's the government.
Right.
Oh,
right.
That really is true. And like I said earlier, the best thing government can do is create the climate for business, not to get involved in business. They need to create the climate, the atmosphere, get out of the way. I mean, truthfully, there's an $800 franchise tax in the state of California before you turn over not one nan nickel.
Yes.
When we started our company, we hadn't even hired any employees. The state, we had to cut a check to the state for $800.
Yeah, that's the opening. That's the opening bid. We're having a conversation with Marcus Johnson from Starstruck. I saw a report earlier this year by the Congressional Budget Office that said if you increase the minimum wage, it could cost 1 million jobs. And it's hard sometimes to get people to understand that concept. I had one of the classes I teach is a public speaking class, and we did a little thing on the minimum wage, and everybody's jumping on how great the minimum wage is.
Right.
So I'm sitting in the back of the class like a student, and I said, well, I have a question for you. I said, okay, you own a restaurant, and 25% of your cost is labor. And now you're increasing your labor cost by $2, which is 20%. Where do you get the money for that? And the class got silent.
Absolutely.
Somebody in the corner said, raise prices? I went, okay. So now you and I go into our favorite restaurant, and the costs are 15% higher. Is that going to make you a happy camper?
Absolutely not. When it affects people's pocketbooks, and it all, they say it rolls downhill, that really is the truth. A person that's maybe making $9 an hour, and they were getting 32 hours a week, now they've dropped down to 21 hours a week.
Right.
They've made more money, but now they're breaking even or a little bit less, because at the end of the day, it boils down to the money, the goodwill of wanting people to make more money. If the people don't support it with their money, it's really going to fall at the wayside.
Did they really make more money now that they're paying an increased percentage of their income?
No, it's just the appearance. It's the appearance. It's the
you
illusion.
can give them
Smoke and mirrors.
give them a raise, and the net take home is lower, but prices have gone up.
Right, absolutely. Going back to the 99-cent burger, if you've looked at some of the burger places, some of them don't even put tomatoes on the burgers anymore. Why? Because it costs money. The burgers are smaller. You and I have seen the 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese. They're not the same size that they were in 1980. They're reducing the sizes to make up the cost. They're going to make it up one way or another.
Clay, what's the smallest amount you remember the minimum wage being?
I think 35 cents.
Are you serious?
That goes back a long way, doesn't it?
I remember $1.25. Seriously,
Maybe that's it. $1.25.
When I was in high school,
35 cents was my take home.
Yeah,
Wow.
It was $1.25, and I remember working at GM while I was going to college, making $3.50 an hour, thinking I was on cloud nine. Making 3 times minimum wage. At $3.50 an hour.
Wow, mine was $3.35. My first job.
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
Mine was $8.
Yeah. and any second now, the ceiling's going to open up.
Look
There'll
out.
be a strike of lightning, and Clay will be gone.
So tell us again how people get a hold of you, so we get you a little plug here.
Yeah, absolutely. You can go to our website, teamstarstruck.com, www.teamstarstruck.com. Also, you can call us 888-919-6828. That's our toll-free number there. We're always looking for qualified people, are, I should say, always taking applications. We have a state licensed security company within our entertainment division that we're always looking for people that have their guard card or considering a career in security that we have a demand for. We're always looking for good people. So we really draw a lot from the employees that we have. We have I want to believe we have some of the best employees that work with us and for us. We have a lot of people that get out there and brave the heat with one of our key clients out there at the Koerner County Raceway Park, and they just do a phenomenal job. I mean, I'm really grateful for the employees that we have within the company that work for us.
Well, you guys do a great job, but tell us about the Raceway. What do you do at the Raceway?
Yeah, we do a lot at the Raceway. Last year, 2013, some great gentlemen got together, James, Charlie, and Rusty. They put together this racetrack. They're committed. They're local business owners as well in the Taft community, and we sat down and talked with them. They support local business. They brought us on a very huge project, and we have about 70 to 80% of the workforce that is out there. We are out there in the concessions area. We provide all the staffing personnel in the concessions, the parking lot management, the security, the cleanup, the gate operators. They made a tremendous commitment to us by entrusting us with being able to provide those services. And we were able to provide not only good quality people, we were able to provide it for a fair quality rate. And because we have so many services, we're able to offer our client and able to offer the racetrack a very competitive rate that maybe some individual competitors wouldn't be able to offer. So we're grateful for the relationship that we have with them. We're hoping to continue that relationship as the season continues to grow.
Sure. Now, even those of you outside of California, I'd highly recommend you calling Marcus. There are things they can do outside of California, not necessarily this full bore they can do here in Kern County, but there are services they can offer. So Again, I highly recommend Marcus Johnson and his organization. You guys have done a great job, and you're a great asset to the community. Thank you a lot, Marcus, for being here.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
We will be back in a moment on Taking Care of Business on Koerner Radio News Talk 1180.